Hello and welcome to Real Sense. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Ecoflow River Pro. This is a 720 watt-hour portable power station by Ecoflow, and it has some ridiculous features. But first, let's begin with the buttons. This is the LED light on and off switch. As you can see, it has various settings. Here's a USB-C 100 watt output, the two USB-A ports, and a fast charging USB-A port. On the top right, you can see the port for a cigarette lighter output, and that is a DC output. And on the bottom is two DC out ports with the button, and the button is used to turn on and off the DC output. Now in the middle, you have the beautiful screen, which is nice and bright. And starting on the left side, you have the remaining charge indicator. The middle has the percentage charge indicator. And on the right side, you have the input/output indicators. And on the bottom is the port usage and items indicators, which will show you what's on and off. Alright, so on this side, we have the fan. And you can see it has a grill, and that allows for airflow. On the bottom, there are three AC outputs, and on the left, you can see the on and off button for the AC outputs. Now right here in the bottom, there's a port if you're gonna use the extended battery, which will double the capacity of the system to a total of 1,440 watt hours. Alright, so on the back, you can see the logo and nothing else. Moving on to the other side, we have the inputs with the bottom grill for air ventilation, and this is where the air comes out. Alright, so opening up the cover, you can see on the left we have the input for the regular wall outlet. This is a switch in case there's overload, and this yellow plug is the XT60 plug, which is used for solar charging, but it could also be used for a car charging or a generator, anything that has the XT60 plug. Now the Ecoflow Pro is a very versatile portable power station, and stick towards the end of the video as I will show how I use this every day. Alright, so in terms of weight, it's a 16.8 pounds portable power station, and in terms of dimensions, it's 11.4 inches by 7.3 inches by 9.3 inches. So on the bottom, you can see it has 4 rubber pads, and that keeps it very firm on the ground and it prevents it from slipping. Now in the box, you have the manual, which comes in this black box, and here it's all the specs and all the steps you need to take to properly work this power station. And it also comes with the guide on how to connect the power station, because if you download the app, you can remotely control this power station, and it's very cool. I'm going to show you at the end of the video how I use this every day. Alright, so in the box, it also brings the cables, but since I've already used this device, I already have them set up. Here's a guide on how to connect the solar panel, but stick to my next video and I'm going to show you how to use a cheaper, more powerful solar panel and how to get the most out of the 200 watts input. Now on the bottom left, you can see that under the light on and off switch, there's a little tiny button, and that's going to be for resetting or connecting the Wi-Fi. And like I mentioned before, you can use this device remotely, and this is where you set that up. And it's so cool. You're gonna see how I use this every day. Now for charge times, this device has super fast charging, and if you use a regular wall outlet, you can expect around 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours. If you're gonna use solar panels, you can expect anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. That's depending on how much input you're getting from the solar panels. Remember, it's up to 200 watts. And if you're going to use the car or a generator, you can expect around 8 hours, and that also is up to 200 watts. Now, in terms of output, this thing is a beast. it has a technology called X-Boost, and with X-Boost you can expect to power a device of up to 1,800 watts. And I'm not an expert on this, but based on what I read, what it does is that it raises the volts, so it multiplies the wattage overall to match the 18,000 watt output. And we're going to put that to the test with the Nespresso coffee maker test, since that has an internal heat resistant element, and those require around 1,000 watts to heat up. But first, we're going to do the light test. And as you can see, that's my garage light turned on for reference. This is what it looks like with the roof light turned on. And now I'm going to turn it off. And now I'm going to turn on the River Pro light source. And this is on the low setting. As you can see, it's not that bright, but it's bright enough. This is going to be useful for emergencies or camping. Any situation where you need a quick light or you don't have any light. And here's the high setting, which is much brighter and it's more clear. It's going to use around 2 watts, but you know, for 720 watts, you know, do the math, it's going to take forever to drain the battery. And the third feature that it has is the SOS, or the blinking, as you can see here. And that's for, you know, for emergencies. So I'm going to do it again. This is the low setting, the high setting, and the SOS feature. So yes, it's a pretty good light source. Definitely useful for emergencies, and I like it. Alright, so now we're going to do the solar charging test. And I'm going to demonstrate how to connect the River Pro to the solar panel. And that solar panel is a max 120 watts. And we're going to see what we can get from it today. So here we have the XT60 cable with the DC cable adapter. And it's easy to plug in. You go on to the input. And I'm happy that Ecoflow used XT60 connectors because they are very firm. You know, they're not easily removed by mistake. And they have a very stable connection. Alright, so you can see on the battery indicator, percentage is rotating. And you can also see that on the top right, there's 63 watts of input. And on the left is telling us that the battery is going to charge to 100% within 3 hours at this rate. So that's a very cool way to present all the information. It's very simple, straightforward, and easy to read. Now I have a tip on solar charging for this device, and my tip is to not buy the Ecoflow solar panel. That solar panel is way too expensive for 200 watts, and I'm going to show you on my next video how you can buy any solar panel, which I have here a 400 watt solar panel, and make it compatible with Ecoflow River Pro. And as I stated before, remember that it's a 200 watt max input. Alright, so now I'm going to do the Traeger grill test, and we're going to find out whether or not the Ecoflow can turn it on and keep it on. Alright, so it's plugged in, as you can see here. And we're going to turn on the grill. Alright, so that turns on the screen, and we're going to set the temperature, select it, and hit the ignite button to get started. Alright, so now on the Ecoflow screen, you can see the output. It's going up and up, 70, 80, 90. Alright, so it's doing around max 90 watts to heat up the grill. So I'm gonna wait 15 minutes and skip to that part, and I'll come back and show you guys. Alright, so it's been around 10 minutes. I decided to connect the solar panel just to show you that it can charge and run the grill at the same time. So you can see that yes, the grill is heating up. And that is a pass. for the Traeger grill test. But Mr. Cat doesn't really care. I think he saw a bug, and I'm just gonna be very quiet, shut the music off, and he's concentrated. Oh wait, I think he lost it. Aw man, you lost the bug. Sorry buddy. Alright, so now let's do the couch test. And you can see that the couch is unplugged. And now I'm gonna try the buttons and, you know, show you that they don't work because it's unplugged. Anyways, you can already tell by the size of the Ecoflow Pro that this will not be my main couch battery. Right, so I'm gonna plug it in, and you can see the button turned on the couch, and you can see the output. And now I'm gonna run it, and let's see, that's one of the recliners. And now let's try the headrest. They both work. And now let's retract everything at the same time. And you can see that it's doing like 180, 170 watts. And that should give you an idea of why other cheap portable power stations don't work, because they just don't have the power rating for the spike to move both motors at the same time. Alright, so yes, it's a pass for the couch test. But now is the biggest challenge, and that's because this is the only test that's failed on every portable power station I've reviewed until this one. Or is it? Or I don't know. Oh crap, I think I just gave it away. But anyways, as you can see, it's unplugged. We're gonna plug it in, and let's start the cleaning cycle. Alright, so if you notice that it went up to like 1,200 watts, and now it's still going. You can see the flashing green light on the Nespresso, and that's already heating up the element, and it's gonna take a while. I'm just gonna fast forward. And as you just saw, the running cycle was completed, meaning this is the first one that works, and the Ecoflow River Pro passes the Nespresso test. This is the first portable power station that passes this test out of all the one I've tested so far, and it just shows you how powerful and how versatile it could be. Now, this is gonna be the final showcase. And it's not going to be a test because this is how I use it every day. And to be clear, I've used this Ecoflow River Pro for an entire year using this setup, and it has been super reliable. So as you can see, the input is around 180 watts and the output is around 100 watts. And you can see that it's going to take around 3 hours to charge. So this is how I use it every day, and I have it connected to my big solar panel that I showed previously, and it goes into this white box I have here, and that's where all the magic happens to make this solar panel compatible with the River Pro. But anyways, you can see that I have a wall charger just in case there isn't enough sun and I run out of battery. And you can see the solar panel cable is the only input, and that's where I'm getting the 180 watt input at the moment. Alright, so now I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how I use this every day and what's connected to it. This is my home office, and I work from home. So here are the two power cord extenders that I have connected. This is the right side of the office, which is the right table, and the other one goes to the left side, which is my computer and my workspace setup. And you can see all the connectors. Alright, so here's the rundown. So the first is the two screens on the top, which I use to work every day. Then there's the laptop that's connecting to the screens, which I use every day. My tablet and my phone, a Wi-Fi LED light bar, my printer, the USB fan, a AA or AAA battery charger under my desk, both of the desks, which are standing desks, the screen on the right desk, the right LED desk lamp, both a Google speaker and a Bluetooth speaker, and finally the router that's on the window. So yeah, that's a lot. And I use it like this every day. Now with the 200 watt input from the solar panel, I usually never run the battery down. So I typically end the day with like 70–60% left on the battery. And at night I turn it off. And now I'm gonna show you how I use the Wi-Fi feature to control the Ecoflow remotely, because since I turn it off at night, you know, it shuts down the whole system, as you can see, and that way I don't have to use the battery when I'm not working. And when I come in the morning, I just turn it back on and it works like a light switch, so it's perfect. Typically, like I said, I leave around 70–60% just in case there's an emergency or I need to use the portable power station for something. But as you can see, everything runs perfectly, and I highly recommend it because not only does it allow me to work at any condition, but I looked at the monthly bill and I'm saving around $7 to $10 a month. So, you know, that's pretty sweet, because at the same time, not only is it saving money, but it allows me to work on a sustainable source of energy. Now, the only real con I have against the Ecoflow River Pro is the battery chemistry. And that's because the life cycle of the battery, it's around 500 to 800 to degrade to 80%. But if it was a lithium phosphate battery, it will have a life cycle of 2,000 to 3,000 to degrade to an 80% capacity. So that's the only thing I wish Ecoflow had done with this device, was to put a lithium phosphate battery, which I'm pretty sure in the future they're going to come out with something similar with the lithium phosphate battery. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And in terms of issues I've had, there has been issues with the app disconnecting, and some issues where the battery percentage isn't accurate. So I've reached out to Ecoflow and they have guided me through fixing these problems. They're just some software bugs, I guess they've been ironing out. And so far, for the last 4 months, I can say everything's been super stable. The app runs fine. The battery indicator hasn't had any issues. And I'm super happy with how they supported their devices, and they keep updating over time. Now, this device is around $580 in Amazon, but if you go for the Eco River or the Eco River Max, it still has the same 600 watt, but with a peak of 1200 watt, with less battery capacity, but it is still really good. And at $280, I believe, the Eco River, the regular one, is an awesome choice. So hats off to Ecoflow for creating one of the best, if not the best, portable power station at the moment. Hope you like this review. If you have any questions, please write them down below, and hit like, subscribe, and keep a lookout for the next video, which I'll explain how to make any solar panel compatible with the Eco River Pro, and that's going to be a really cheap alternative to buying the Ecoflow solar panel. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.